Warning, censorship. Warning, censorship. Warning, censorship. Warning, censorship.
Good afternoon, Mocha Bazurgan. I'm Andrew. Welcome to the Rebel Daily live streams. We are live on Odyssey, Rumble, YouTube, Super U, everywhere that you want to see us. We're there, Mocha.
Yeah, sorry for the delay. We had a minor technical issue, but we're back live now, and we're doing all right.
We're doing okay. If you guys want to send us a Odyssey chat, a hyper chat with a monetary value, we will read it on the air, whether it's a question, comment, concern, hater comment like I had in Oshawa, or whatever you'd like. We will answer it to the best of our ability. As well, we're going to get through some of the latest stories on rebelnews.com and realreporters.ca so that you can see what exactly we're up to all across the country, Mocha B. We got people in Australia, British Columbia. You were engaged in some fake news battle there on Twitter. A lot of stuff happening over the weekend that we're going to get to. The first thing we want to say is welcome to one of our new Aussie reporters. We're attempting to get more of the Aussie perspective out there because they got some crazy new rules. Have you seen some of these new rules?
Well, I could imagine what they could be, since where the Australia is headed to.
In New South Wales, it's like you have to, if you if you come from abroad where you're on vacation or something and coming back, you have to put a on quarantine sign in front of your house.
Saw that.
You cannot exercise for longer than an hour outside. You need to carry a mask with you. Now, this was directly in response to what they said were people abusing the exercise rules. So you've ruined it for everybody. Take away all their rights.
Why were they doing this again?
Why were they doing what?
All these restrictions and everything?
Oh, because they have a few cases, you know.
Oh, so it's for the greater
It's for their safety, just like the Avia Mini protest video that you might have seen on the weekend. At least one guy shot with a rubber bullet or a beanbag, he said. They have the pepper balls that you probably recognize from the BLM and Antifa riots from last summer. And, you know, thousands of Aussies in the streets not having it anymore, Mocha. And for their safety, of course, the police are gathering tightly in large numbers to dispel them from the streets. How do you feel about that, for their safety?
Well, what I see, based on what I've seen, I'm just wondering, now we're going to have a vaccine passport starting September 1st in Quebec, and then we're going to have it around at the end of October for interprovincial travel for planes and trains. I guess the virus doesn't affect you if you're on a bus.
That's correct.
Anyways.
You're doing your best, David Menzies. Sorry about the microphone there. Producer Efron behind the helm today. So let's go ahead and go to the new Aussie reporter. What's her name? Do you know, Producer Efron, off the top of your head? We're going to see it in a second, I guess.
Yeah, let's just roll to the clip and we'll
see her name.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Warning, warning, censorship.
Okay, we're running.
we're running behind schedule here. It seems we're getting the audio, but not the video. Mocha, in
our main producer is on holiday right now.
Wow, you're really calling him out there.
So it is what
Get
it
your
is.
hyper chats in now to fill the void, Mocha. When they say it's for your own safety, but they completely break the rules. I mean, we've heard it. We've both been in the streets of Toronto where they say it's okay if they're doing police operations when they're in a tight group of 5 or 6 talking with the lizard hand guy. Do they expect people to believe that?
Why don't we ban, what do they call it when they jump out of skydiving? Why don't we ban skydiving for your safety? Why don't we arrest skydivers and arrest mountain climbers because it's too dangerous, you know?
Why don't we ban driving? You take a risk. See, a lot of people go to the argument of, well, it's a communicable disease.
I mean, why did they ban boxing at one point?
I don't know. Sweating on each other, I guess?
No, not because of COVID, but I think there was like some controversy going on. Oh, you know, these poor people there being forced to fight. We have to ban it, you know?
Well, when you rely on the government to choose what is done for your safety, then it just depends on whoever's in office at the time. I mean, at one point, people thought the gambling should be banned for our safety. It's still regulated by the government here. At one point, I'm sure they banned drinking. They banned alcohol. Haven't banned cigarettes.
Well, I'll give you an example. For example, in Turkey, in Istanbul, in a public park, you cannot record anything with your camera. The security or the police will come up to you and say, for security reasons, you're not allowed to do this. For what? Because in their mind, they think, same with subway stations and everywhere, because in their mind, they think, oh, now you're recording, you're gathering, documents and everything, and then you're going to plan a terrorist attack or something. And it's just, like, not a healthy mind. Like, I'm just trying to shoot a short film there. Can you leave me alone?
Committing a lot of crimes abroad is what I'm hearing. Efron, do we have that video now? You can throw to the Australia video. Thumbs down I'm getting. Do we have any videos? Thumbs down. I just added that one in because... So we've launched realreporters.ca, which is all the reporters across Canada. And maybe we can get that up. But you were out in BC.
Yeah, Vancouver Island.
I almost called her Vancouver Humphrey. Drea Humphrey and Matt Brevner were out in British Columbia, and they were trying to get into the Justin Trudeau event. We want to show that as well. You want to go over then what happened with David Aiken from Global News? Globalist News, as they call it.
Yeah, apparently he called me fake news.
I see.
Or or insinuated. And basically in Vancouver Island, where Justin Trudeau was having an announcement, at the end of the event, as he was boarding to his party bus, a couple of Indigenous protesters showed up, and they blockaded his bus for half an hour. Yeah,
and you posted that on Twitter a couple days prior to this claim, where they were yelling at Justin Trudeau.
Yeah, so he has seen the video, because he says, right wing, and then now look at this left wing group posting the video. So he has seen two different accounts of what happened there, and he was there. He said that he was there, and he says that this never happened. And I posted basically a time lapse of the whole thing because I have recordings of at least 25 minutes to half an hour. I put it together. I made it faster. And I basically called him out. I said, "You're not telling the truth. I'm not fake news. This is what happened. Where were you?"
So why do you think? What's the other side of it here? Since we want to tell the other side of the story, what do you think he would be? How would he come up with the idea that it's not being blocked? If he's there, is he saying they didn't actually stop it from moving anywhere? What is his claim here?
Well, he claims this event didn't took place. It never happened.
He just said it never happened.
He said in the last week that he's been traveling, he has never witnessed Justin Trudeau's bus being blocked.
That's insane.
I'm just paraphrasing, but that's what he tweeted. He's either misinformed. Somebody told him that it was nothing happened, or but like there is the video evidence out there, and I posted the time lapse out there. So instead of retracting and correcting, he just blocks me.
Yeah, that was really sad that he didn't want to. See, for him to block you right away, you'd have to think that he thinks there's no point in arguing at all. But maybe it could just be the childish maneuver of, I've been caught, let me just block whatever I can.
Well,
I'm not a fan of him
let's say,
this.
you can block me on Twitter, but I'm going to be going around to these events and everything. So are you going to be able to block me on the sidewalk?
He might try. Trudeau's people like to try to do that. Have you... He's on the bus that travels around with them?
I'm not sure if he's on the bus. I think there is a second bus of media bus.
Oh, okay.
So they travel together, and you have to be tested every day and you have to wear the mask on the bus. I don't know if they do that. I'll see. I'll take a look next time.
They must want to be on there so badly that they're willing to do anything. There's like in the U.S. you travel on Air Force One with the president when you're part of the press corps, and it goes around like that. So they must really love this free bus tour and probably catered meals all over the place. Justin Trudeau's $7,500 an hour camera people, and that's not the only time. You met up with Trudeau, you said what
Markham,
city?
Ontario.
Markham, where it was in some like neighborhood or something? What was that
where
about?
she where he made these weird statements such as she-session and she-covery, like making a complete joke out of a very serious issue. People's pockets at risk here, Like,
why was it on somebody's lawn though? Like,
I
why
don't
was it in
know.
front of somebody's house?
I'm not sure about that.
And then you tried to go up and talk to Chrystia Freeland, was it? And they basically said you can't come close to her?
I walked up to her. I said, hey, Terry Gillen is discriminating against me. He's not letting me in. And she's like, oh, I'm going to leave the media people take care of this.
There's the footage
That's
of
the
this.
B-roll where I'm yelling my question. I'm asking, who did you give $61 million to?
And that's the media bailout, I'm guessing?
Yes.
So, producer Efron, we can go to the Aussie video now. So let's go ahead and see this first video from, was it Sydney, I want to say? We'll find out. I think it's Sydney. Let's play that, please. And now we're back to square one.
You need to move a little bit, like,
I need to be
towards
closer?
me. Yeah.
We need to be
Yasmin Sawyer for Rebel
more,
News reporting for
there
the
we go.
first time in Brisbane, Australia.
Yes,
On the weekend, thousands
Yasmin
marched for
Sawyer.
their freedom in Brisbane CBD, but unfortunately, the mainstream media painted this event as something evil. We're here to tell you the other side of the story. Watch the report, but we need your support, so please go to brisbanereporters.com.
Far out, that's it. 10 more of those. We are one! We are one! We are one! We are one!
They described it on Channel 9 last time. They described the rally in general as kids, dogs and confusion.
I can't believe how many kids are here today. I mean, I feel like I'm a warrior. I'm in my mid-20s, but you've literally got kids here starting at age 2, fighting for their freedom, along with their brothers, sisters, friends, and families. So I really have to give it to them more than me.
Well, last time when me and my dad came, it was packed, but not this packed. Like, it's filling up all the streets, and it's actually really good because we should be treated equally, and we shouldn't have to listen to the government telling us what to do and telling us to have a lockdown and everything.
Freedom of choice over everything.
We are one. We are united. Never to be divided. Yahweh!
The march, sorry to break it to you, isn't going to win the war, okay? Information like this, to protect the people, is going to make a big difference.
Also, why are you guys all here today?
To protect our future.
For freedom and our kids and our choices. Yeah.
So what do you guys think of all the lockdowns?
I like our human rights, but it's just destroying our economy. It's breaking down small businesses, only businesses that are, say, government funded or whatever.
Clearly it's not working for a lot of people. A lot of businesses and livelihoods are getting affected.
Hopefully, you know, we're waking up everybody around us. I mean, stopping traffic and go guys, power to Australia.
We've got drums, we've got music, we've got chants. I feel like I'm at a concert right now, not a rally for freedom.
This is not an attack on these guys as individuals.
Avi, how's it going, bro? Rock man.
We are one! We are one! We are one!
We're not fools. We are grandmothers. We are everyday people. This is what you cause people to do just to live. Just to live, for goodness sake.
Freedom to Australia! We've had enough of this!
TV, other news stations just don't show what really happens, so it's great that you guys are up here.
I believe we've shut down the whole city. We've got police on bikes, in vans. We've literally got people in bars filming us on their mobile phones. I think we're going to fill up every platform tonight.
There's an emotion. Just so moved. This is Rebel News.
I was working in a clothes shop last year and now I'm reporting the news. This is surreal.
Momentum's on our side.
Got some decent men here up here.
Something that just shows that we're all human, we're all the same, and it's really beautiful to see so many different kinds of people here. Of all I'm amazed. I'm impressed.
Army is more Aussie than
When you've got children fighting for their rights, I mean, I get emotional. I can't hide that on camera, so. You know, proud that those who have the guts or have the power and no fear to stand up, they're the people that need to be here today. Plenty of people with their masks on, even though you can see how many people are walking here without their masks on.
The ladies love Abby.
That was a great video.
They don't wear nothing over
You
there.
can still hear it.
Yeah.
You know who LL Cool J is?
No.
Probably 20 years before, 10 years before you were born or something. LL Cool J stands for Ladies Love Cool J. So Abby's got to change his name to LL Cool J, I guess. It's not fun when you don't know who I'm talking about. He was a rapper.
Sorry, I wasn't born.
He was in the movie Halloween H2O that came out like a year after
I
you were
don't have
born.
time to watch movies.
That's a lie.
Yeah,
Don't lie to me, Mocha. You have time for Star Wars.
That was then.
That was then.
Now I'm too busy.
This is now. So obviously everything's insane in Australia right now. We talked about the rules already, and so we're welcoming new reporters. I was in Brisbane. If we can pull up that website that they mentioned at the end there, producer Efron, we can promote that a little bit more. Have you ever been to Australia?
No.
Would you go to Australia?
Right now?
Yeah.
No. I wouldn't go to Australia because Australia is not Australia anymore.
That's true. It's more like the prison state that it was founded on. No
And
comments
here
on that?
We have
there we
the
go.
Website.
Here's the website. What's the URL there?
I can't read it. It's too small. I can't see it. There you go. BrisbaneReporters.com.
So go there if you want to contribute to our reporters in Southern Australia. Of course, we're building a team down there around Avi Mini. You heard it there first. The ladies love Avi, so be sure to check that stuff out. We also have realreporters.ca if you want to bring that up. And then we will get to Alexa Lavoie in Quebec. She got a question to Erin O'Toole, which is really funny. I thought we were banned. They must not just know who she is?
I would guess so.
Well, realreporters.ca is where we're having people go to catch all the latest coverage. Why Mocha Bazurgan? Because it seems to me, and you've witnessed this firsthand, especially at the Justin Trudeau event, where where it's on the front lawn or whatever. It was just all cameramen. They weren't really asking any questions. Am I right?
Yeah, and I'm also a chief videographer, but I was asking a question nonetheless because, like, who did you give that money to, $61 million to? I think it's a very interesting question, but not many are interested in it, I guess.
So they don't ask very many questions, so our reporters across the country have been making sure to get the questions in as often as they can, and Alexa was actually able to ask Erin O'Toole in French, if you can believe it, and his French is pretty good, frankly. When Kevin O'Leary was saying he was going to run, it didn't look like he could speak French at all.
Well, I can't tell the difference because I don't know French.
You're really playing the cool guy role here today.
I'm just telling the truth.
Do we have that video, Efron? Let's go ahead and play Alexa getting his question to Conservative candidate Erin O'Toole.
Let's see it.
Censorship. Warning. Censorship.
Bonjour, vous allez bien?
Elbow bump, very
Oui,
cool.
ça va très bien. Je m'intéressais à savoir, est-ce que vous pensez que le passeport vaccinal devrait avoir une date de fin?
C'est une question pour les provinces parce qu'il y a une approche différente dans chaque province. Ici, un passeport vaccinal, c'est la même chose en Manitoba, mais c'est différent en Ontario. Et je vais toujours respecter les champs de compétences, les programmes des provinces. Mais pour moi, on doit livrer les vaccins, les tests de dépistage rapides et avoir une approche pour les voyages à l'extérieur. Mais les décisions dans les provinces sont les décisions pour les provinces.
So, Alexa for Urban News, I just got in at the event of Erin O'Toole today. We are at the 737. It's a restaurant built with old airplane. So it will come here to speak to all his supporters. And after that, it will come to every table to take picture with his supporter. So at that time, I will try to ask my question about if he think it should have an ending date for the vaccine passport. and especially as well, if he believe on immunity protection when you got, first of all, a COVID, and if he believe on other exception as well, and if he support it. So let's see if everything will go well. I'm a little bit stressful, but I think it's very interesting to see if he will just answer to, you know, a normal citizen, a simple question about what is going on right now. So keep watching. So you have a lot of movement right now. A lot of mainstream media is there, standing up for the arrival of Erin O'Toole. And the main managers say, if you want to support the conservateur, you should wear a mask and stand on the line to support him. But you should wear a mask to stand, to actually be there when he will arrive.
Sur la victoire. Alors, accueille chaleureusement notre leader, notre chef du Parti conservateur du Canada, Monsieur Erin O'Toole. Wow, un autre avion! Ce n'est pas un autre avion, mais un autre. Et pour un ancien militaire comme moi, un ancien officier dans les forces armées canadiennes, c'est magnifique.
Bonjour, vous allez bien?
Oh, je vais bien, et toi?
Oui, ça va très bien. Je m'intéressais à savoir, est-ce que vous pensez que le passeport vaccinal devrait avoir une date de fin?
C'est une question pour les provinces parce qu'il y a une approche différente dans chaque province. Ici, un passeport vaccinal, c'est la même chose en Manitoba, mais c'est différent en Ontario. Et je vais toujours respecter les champs de compétences, les programmes des provinces. Mais pour moi, on doit livrer les vaccins, les tests de dépistage rapides et avoir une approche pour les voyages à l'extérieur. Mais les décisions dans les provinces sont les décisions pour les provinces.
Mais qu'est-ce que vous pensez justement le fait qu'ils demandent 2 doses de vaccin pour les avions et les trains? Est-ce que vous appuyez tout ça?
Non, comme j'ai dit, c'est possible. Les vaccins sont très importants. C'est sécuritaire et efficace. Mais c'est possible aussi d'avoir un test de dépistage quotidien pour quelques situations où les gens ne sont pas vaccinés. Voulez-vous une photo?
Oui.
Okay.
Ah. Merci d'avoir répondu à mes questions.
Ah, c'était la même question ce matin avec mon conférence de presse.
Oh,
Okay.
excusez.
Merci, bonne soirée.
Merci, bonne soirée. So I went to Erin O'Toole, and he actually answered to my question. I just asked if he, what he is thinking about if the vaccine passports should have a hand on this, and if actually what he is thinking about the vaccine passport for traveling with a flight or a train. And probably because he don't know now I was with Brisbane News, but he actually answered my question. So one time, everything finished like, well done, and just because he didn't see my brand, my company, he was able to actually answer to my question. That's a win. Win-win-one.
Good job, Alexa, for getting that question answered. How did you feel about his answer, Mocha?
Well, one of the things that I want to point out is basically he is insinuating that if a province decides to violate an individual's right, as federal government, he would let that happen because, you know, it's not his jurisdiction.
That's exactly what I thought when I first saw that video. So it's okay when a province wants to take away your rights, he's not going to stop them. What about if a province wants to give me more gun rights? What if a province wants to give me more rights? Is that allowed?
Exactly. How about those
ways?
situations? Yeah. So I think it's just, you know, exercising the power you have on the provinces if it suits you, and not exercising it if it doesn't suit your agenda.
Yeah, I think he just doesn't want to have the same answer as Trudeau. Now, his answer about passports on planes and trains was a little bit different. I don't have the confidence, though, that he would uphold that. Because when you're saying we're going to test people, imagine 200 people try to get on the GO train here in Ontario, and you have to get tested right before you go in, or you have to get tested when you buy a ticket, buy a machine or something. I don't understand, and therefore I think it would just logistically it'd be easier for them to just have people present a vaccine passport. So I don't think that would be far off. I think that they would institute that right away as soon as they got any pressure, because that's what they always do. I didn't like that he was wearing his mask outside. It's not necessary. Obviously, science supports that stance of mine. The elbow bumping, if you didn't want to come across looking like Trudeau, there's no need to. He's standing 2 feet away from Alexa. He's as close as we are to each other, and we're elbow bumping. And I also thought it was really funny when Alexa went to go take a picture with him, and she almost put her arm on his shoulder, and then she's like, oh, no, I can't do that. She should have done it anyway. This is what I think. Just maybe freak him out. Oh, my God, you're touching me. Any other thoughts on that? How do you think he's got a bigger audience than Trudeau has at any of his stops. But then again, he's at an event, it looks like. So any other takeaways from that for you, of his answers?
Well, yeah, at least he's answering questions, unlike Justin Trudeau, who doesn't even engage with protesters who block his bus for half an hour. I thought he was very caring about Indigenous issues, and, you know, if he is the leader of the country, and if those protesters are challenging his legitimacy and challenging the legitimacy of the country, well, who is a better person than Justin Trudeau, the Prime Minister himself, in engaging with them and, you know, accepting their challenge?
I've always thought that he does not have a good relationship with tribal leaders of the different native bands. I've seen him have meetings with them. He gets very hot-headed pretty quickly.
Well,
and we can keep playing that up front.
He has a legendary. I mean, his legend is that he just looks away. He looked away when the railroad blockades were happening. He looked away when more than 50 now I think the number is 58 now. 58 churches have been burned or vandalized.
That's
he
insane.
Looked away. And he just looked away and hid inside his bus for half an hour while these people just wanted to be acknowledged and have a conversation.
Yeah, I thought that obviously the people screaming this is unceded land and stuff, obviously that's nonsense, but the one girl that gets shown there has a good argument where she says the photo op that he took was on my reserve and you didn't do anything there.
Yeah,
so to pretend like this isn't blocking the bus, I don't know what else is.
Yeah, they're saying like Justin Trudeau is inside this bus and we're standing in front of this bus. We just want to be acknowledged, and the police is saying you will be arrested, get out of here. If this is not if this is not blocking a bus, I don't know what is. But also I want to point out, Justin Trudeau, he did not acknowledge them. He didn't speak to them, and but when you look away, the problem doesn't go away. You need to engage. You need to speak. A real leader. You know my stance on leaders and everything. I'm not a big politician. I don't like any politician, to be honest, but if you claim to be a leader, then head on, talk to them, listen to their concerns.
I agree, and I also think that if this was anti-lockdown protesters, they would have been arrested immediately, but they don't want. There he goes again. So he was on the bus the whole time.
Also, he has his photographer with him too. Of course, this is you know, you don't want to photograph that. You don't want to document that.
Do we have the David Aiken tweet there, producer Efron, that we can show as to what the contention was? I just want to reread it. I'm trying to give him, because to just say that this didn't happen would just be an obvious lie, and then to block you'd be extremely
and
childish.
saying that while there are 2 video evidence from 2 different accounts.
So it was deleted.
So this is what he says. You think right-wing news outlets stretch the truth? How about this whooper from a left-wing advocacy group? Complete fake news. I was there. No helicopters were harmed during Trudeau's stop in Elizabeth Bay.
So they deleted the tweet. I don't know if he paid the
Can we see the comment? I think the channel has responded. We were going off video from the Just in Canada YouTube channel linked. And
social media updates from people in front of the bus. What did you observe?
So they deleted the video because I guess they thought that they were showing fake news. So they're asking, what did you observe? This is what. So what does he say? No helicopter for one thing, and a completely typical Trudeau event. Bus showed up, parked where it was supposed to. Lots of RCMP around. A handful of people around the bus yelling about this and that. PM left the bus, late as usual. PM got on the bus, late as usual. Normal.
So I guess he's trying to say that nobody stopped the bus from leaving? I don't know. But they're blocking the bus. You can't say that it's not blocking the bus.
Wait a second, but he also said that this never happened. Actually, we can just show the real tweet where what he says, and so I don't have to paraphrase.
Can we show that, Efron? Do we know where that is?
Yeah.
His bus was not blocked ever at any event I attended this week. So he's trying to say that it wasn't blocked from driving away, I'm guessing. But then why would he block you? Is he just like, oh, he's never going to admit anything? Scroll up. What's this in a reply to? I saw this item from Dogwood in a separate report from Rebel about this bus being blocked. But I saw no mention of his bus being blocked on any of the mainstream media outlets. So this person's just saying the bus was blocked, and then yeah.
But wait a second.
He's not telling
This
the
is
truth.
not true. He was not there. There was not a single journalist or a cameraman or a reporter there who was documenting this other than myself. I didn't see anyone else. There was another guy with a purple shirt who was recording, but I don't know if he's. I think he's the one who uploaded to the YouTube channel. So there was only like him and I, and there was nobody else. David Aiken was not there recording. There were a dozen journalists inside the event where the event was happening, and Justin Trudeau was giving an interview right at the door next to the bus, not the bus door, but the building, and there's like a stairway that goes to the bus. That's where the thing happened. But when they arrived, when they moved in front of the bus, when Justin Trudeau was passing, for some reason, all of the media, they were all gone. There was nobody there. It lasted half an hour, and they don't recognize me as a journalist. They won't let me in. But all these journalists they let in, who you're compelled to pay for, by the way, through your tax dollars, and they either failed or refused to show you what happened there, to record, to document what was going on.
Yeah, it's weird that he wouldn't just reply and clarify, but generally I would think you would just block a person when you think that there's no point in arguing with this person, or if they're a troll or something. But he wants to pretend, obviously, that we don't exist.
Yeah,
that's their whole goal there. That's the Parliamentary Press Gallery's goal, is to just pretend that we don't exist, even though we get a lot more views than David Aiken does. I'd like to know where the David Aiken show is, because I think a lot of his followers aren't real. I think there's a lot of fake followers. I don't know why 80,000 or 60,000, whatever it is, people in Ontario or in Canada follow a global news guy who's not very good. I'd like to see how many numbers his show gets and how many views his stuff gets, because I don't think he's got that many followers. His engagement's really low, and especially knowing that he wouldn't be shadow banned.
And he didn't correct his false claim, his fake news, when I presented him another set of evidence, a time lapse that it lasted half an hour. It was indeed a blockade, and you know, I don't get it. So basically, they failed, or they didn't want to show it. I mean, they either failed or didn't want to record what was happening, or when I post the video is out there. You could just show my clip, write an article about that, or air it on the telly. So that's the second thing. This time they either failed or didn't want to show it on the telly.
It's too.
And then the third thing is they called it fake news. So they either didn't see the video, or they saw the video but you know, decided to call it fake news anyways. And the fourth thing, when I presented the half an hour long
video
time lapse, this time instead of correcting, they blocked me. So this is not a failure. This is a refusal to show the truth. This is not fake news. You can see the video itself, and it's going to come out today, and you will see my 14-minute long report on what happened on Vancouver Island that day, how they trespassed me, how did they treated various protesters. There were a couple environmentalist protesters as well, a couple lockdown protesters as well.
And you got something coming with Jag Meat too, don't you?
Yes, indeed. I went to a Jackman Sieg event on
How was that?
Saturday. He came to my neighborhood. I live in downtown Toronto.
Okay.
So you know what? If you're coming to my neighborhood, I have some questions to ask. Since your policies are going to affect me, since you're gonna, you want to establish dominion over me. So I went there, and it was in a on the roof of Delta Hotel, and the media person greeted me, and she said, "It's our policy. We don't accept any questions from Rebel News. That's their policy." I said, "Oh, but I live in the neighborhood also, so I want to ask a couple questions. Why not?" She said, "No, you're welcome to stay here, but you can't ask a question." So I said, "Oh, so I can't line up and ask a question?" "No, you can't." "Okay."
Did you try to line up anyways?
No. I just sat where I was, and I waited for him to finish his press conference, do his photo shoots, and TikToks and everything. And then as he was leaving in front of me, I attempted to stand up from my seat and just ask a question. I wasn't like rushing or anything. I'm just doing this, you know, getting my camera like this, getting up. And this RCMP officer tells me to sit down.
They're really drunk on power, these parties, eh?
So the RCMP officer, a federal police officer, orders me to sit down. If I don't sit down, what is he going to do? So I thought he was going to tackle me. I thought he was going to get physical. So, and that was kind of unexpected. I didn't expect to, you know, engage in civil disobedience right there and then. And so I'm like, I have the RCMP officer in front of me approaching me, telling me to sit down. And at the same time, I'm trying to ask my question in the little time that I have. But I managed to ask it, and I did get a small answer, but not a true answer. We'll examine that later. And then I asked the RCMP officer, "Why did you block me? Why did you tell me to sit down?" And I said, I was told that I'm welcome to be here. And he said, "Yes, you were told you're welcome to be here, but you were also told you were not allowed to ask a question."
So now they're policing people.
Yeah,
being able to ask
RCMP.
questions.
And then I said, "Are you an RCMP officer?" And he said, "Yes."
He
that
really
was
didn't want to
he
answer.
waited 5 seconds until he said yes. It's not a mathematical question, yes or no.
He didn't want to have
because
to
he
reveal
knew.
that to you.
I think he realized what he did, and that it was totally. He's the author of his own misfortune. So I started following him. I said, "You have to give me your badge number." And he's like, "Okay, we're done here." He won't give me his badge number and name. So I kept demanding it, and I said, "You engage with me. You told me to sit down. You told me that I can't ask a question. You have to give me your name and badge number." And he said, "Well, I didn't. I just repeated what they told me. They said, "Why are you being their men?" I said, "You have the power of the law. You have to give me your name and badge number." So he finally, quietly, only gave me his badge number, and we're gonna file a complaint against him. For just, you're a federal police officer. What do you mean you cannot ask a question? Why are you being their man? You are supposed to be the man of the law. You're supposed to be enforcing the law. It's not illegal to ask a question.
It is now, Mocha. And is this the same thing, Producer Efron, Mocha in BC? Do we have video of that asking Trudeau a question? Is that what we already saw, or do we have that as well?
Yes, we haven't released that video yet. We're going to release it today.
Are we going to show a preview or anything?
I think we should. Yeah, let's do it.
All right, let's go ahead and you're traveling across the country. They'll never see you coming. He's CGI'd in right now. He's not actually sitting next to me. I don't think I can touch him. And it's illegal to touch him anyways. Can we play that video? Dun 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 dun. Yeah, there we go.
Justin Trudeau's tour bus was blockaded by Indigenous rights protesters for half an hour.
Nothing on me. Not gonna hurt him. Just want to be acknowledged. I want to be heard.
And he was evacuated from the bus by the RCMP.
Justin Trudeau does not give a f about Indigenous people.
Justin, why don't you engage with the protesters?
That was on my reserve, where he laid those flowers and that teddy bear. He did that for a photo op. The people from my reserve are uncomfortable.
Did you even saw this on the telly? No.
Because the media did not want you to see it.
But not only that, despite video evidence, David Akin, chief political correspondent for Global News, lied and said that this was fake news.
The violence they ensue!
There were dozens of journalists there. Some of them who traveled with Justin Trudeau. But where did they disappear when all this was happening?
Tell me you were bribed by the Liberal government at taxpayers' expense without telling me you were bribed by the Liberal government at taxpayers' expense.
You might remember me asking Prime Minister Justin Trudeau which media companies he paid $61 million to.
Who in the media you gave $61 million to? Who in the media you gave $61 million to?
So this is in
Why
a
don't you
residential
release the
neighborhood.
list?
No
Why
one's
is it
allowed
a secret?
to. Again,
Given
they're
the
wearing
fact
masks
that
outside.
it's a secret, the best prediction would be to assume it was the same media companies who received $595
Pre-election
million
emergency
from the
relief.
government in 2018.
So pre-election, see, I thought we were talking about the millions of dollars they get every single year. So they gave They gave $62 million in emergency relief. Can we bring up that freeze frame again?
You don't need to give that money. You know, I'll come there and I'll set up a camera, and the whole nation will. You know, you don't have to pay. You don't need we don't operate on taxpayers' dime. People give their money willingly.
Heritage Minister Stephen Guilbeault's department refuses to name publishers awarded nearly $61 million in pre-election emergency relief.
What do you mean?
The grants were to ensure readers receive, quote, timely information they require from the government. So they gave. That's insane. That should be a bigger story.
Yeah, but
$61 million.
Not only that, why is it a secret? Why does the taxpayer don't have a right to know where his money was spent? We know which companies got the $595 million bailout money.
We got it. I imagine Sheila Gunn-Reid's going to get this document or something, and it's not. But they're going to hold it until after the election for sure. They're going to delay as long as possible. So that's an access to information packet, I think it's called, an ATIP.
Yes.
In America, it's Freedom of Information Request. They call it a FOIA. The last video I want to get to, Producer Efron, is Drea Humphrey v. Liberal staffer. I forget his name, but we'll see it on there. Basically acting like a child, Producer Mocha.
They have been acting like a child.
All
in
across the
Vancouver
country.
Island too, in Colebrook too.
So Drea Humphrey, superstar Matt Brevner, and another reporter were trying to get in. They can't give them a reason as to why. And this guy can't even, he's sitting there mockingly chewing his gum with his mask on outside. And they won't give them a reason. And he starts doing stuff like saying, the weather's great out here. It's really pathetic, and I want to show it just so everybody can see. And maybe if you want to take a clip of it and send people this live stream just so they can see how the Liberal staff, we saw how they're acting in all these places across Ontario. They're blocking Mocha from asking questions. They're clapping to get the boos so that you can't hear the boos as well.
Yeah.
And now they're just coming up with any reason at all they can to keep independent media out because I guess we didn't get $61 million. So let's go ahead and play that start right where they're having this interaction with the guy, please.
Censorship. Warning. Censorship.
How can we afford to lose unvaccinated healthcare workers when we have a shortage of healthcare workers, Trudeau? Trudeau, how can we afford to lose unvaccinated healthcare workers in a healthcare shortage?
Look, guys. Close the door. Look, guys. Close the door, guys. Private property here.
Oh no, it's fine. No.
Cameron, our stuff.
No, I'm sorry, you can't come in.
Please don't touch me.
I'm not
Thank
touching
you.
you. I'm just
This is
telling
public property.
It is not.
Okay, can I talk to you? Can I talk to you?
It's public.
Can I talk to you? Why are we not allowed in?
It's the event.
Why is media not allowed in? I registered. I'm independent media. I'm accredited. These are public servants. We have millions of people who would like me to ask a question. The snap election that's going to cost Canadians millions of dollars is on the way, and Prime Minister Justin Trudeau made an appearance today in the Vancouver, BC area. You better bet I was there, but did I get an answer to my tough question? You're going to want to watch this full report to see what went down. Dre Humphrey here with Rebel News, and when it comes to knowing who you want to be credited with the Independent Press Gallery, I received the email that said that it's open to all of the media and that we just had to be there at 8:15 because the event was going to start at 10. I showed up by 8:15. I didn't get a response to my email when we signed up to be there, but when I got there, this is how I was treated from the media liaison.
I'm not going to get in here.
For what reason? What's the reason?
Why can't we get into it?
We're just not going to. Thanks.
We're just not going to?
Yeah.
I'm media, sir. I've already registered. Why can't we come in?
That's nice. Thanks.
This is all.
Is it Galen or Gallon? How do you pronounce your name?
You can't just say no.
You have to give a reason. Those are public servants. This is public property, and we're independent media. I'm accredited with the Independent Press Gallery.
Gotcha.
What is the reason we haven't been able to sign the list and get in yet? That's not an answer. Are you guys open and transparent like your party says?
Asked you right now. What's going to happen?
I don't know.
Okay.
Can I please sign the list? I've registered. I'm accredited media.
We're good.
Just no response.
Leaving us hanging this whole time for what reason?
No, I'm sorry, you can't come in.
Please don't touch me.
I'm not
Thank
touching
you.
you. I'm just
This is
telling you.
public property.
It is not.
Okay, can I talk to you? Can I talk to you?
It's public.
Can I talk to you? Why are we not allowed in?
It's the event.
Why is media not allowed in? I registered. I'm independent media. I'm accredited. These are public servants. We have millions of people who would like me to ask a question.
Thank you.
What is the reason? Can I speak with you, please? Oh, we're just going to just shut the doors. This is Canada. We have a democracy here. I'm just here to ask a question. I'm not a risk at all. You could at least answer what is the reason you are refusing to let me in there as media, accredited media.
I'm good. Thanks.
What did they tell you about why we're not allowed to be in here today? You asked me who I was from, and I told you a media outlet. You said, what is it? I said, it's independent. You said, hang tight.
You guys are doing a very nice thing here in a beautiful province. I'm really glad to be here right now. Yeah, it's our home. So.
Yeah,
it's a beautiful place you guys go to in Vancouver.
Well, you're kind of ruining it right now by suppressing free speech, sir. Do you understand what you're doing here today?
Freedom of press as well. What is the crime of asking a question? Are you guys just literally filtering what type of questions can be asked of the Prime Minister? Is there someone else we could speak to? Is it Gallon or Galen? Or I don't want to pronounce it wrong. Galen Richardson. Is there somebody else we could speak to about why we are being refused to go in?
Again, you guys are here. A lovely day. I'm really enjoying your province. It's quite beautiful.
Did you guys see that? I mean, how creepy is it that instead of just answering why we're not allowed in, he's...
Galen Richardson, a real big man, real big tough guy. Can't speak to young Drea Humphrey. Can't give her any respect, any reason. I counted in that 5 minutes, Mocha. He touched his mask 8 times. His fabric mask that doesn't do anything while he's outside, a foot away from people. Just goes to show you the logic that's going through Galen Richardson's head of the Liberal staff. Can't give you any reason, Mocha. Can't tell her. Can't even let her touch the sheet. He's letting all these other
he's just
media
doing
members.
what he's told.
He's just doing what he's told, and nothing bad ever happens to those people at all. 8 times, Mocha, he touched his mask in 2 minutes,
I know.
5 minutes.
Well, and
it's just
you know,
it's
he would
just-
be a good
go
fit
ahead.
in Montreal.
It's just so embarrassing. It's so embarrassing to call yourself a man. You're standing there wearing this mask that you clearly don't want to wear, or you don't believe in, because why are you touching your face 8 times? You're a foot away from people. Blah blah blah. We can go through all the hypocrisy about that. He's forced to wear it for his job. It's okay. But you can't even be like, let me get you an answer. Nobody on their staff is brave enough or enough of a real human being to give an actual answer, and it's pathetic. Even if a person, I wildly disagree with the NDP, for example. A person from the NDP comes up to me while I'm doing something, wants to ask me a question, I'll just answer it. The interaction between answering it and ignoring them is going to be much longer.
Well, you know what? We've been under lockdown for more than a year. Maybe he just, never went outside throughout this year, and he hid inside a basement.
He's
playing
not a
video
man, is what I'm
games,
saying.
and he forgot human interaction.
Maybe. That's possible.
That could be possible because, as you saw, maybe he's mentally not stable. He was speaking of about the weather and how beautiful things are. But Drea and the other person, the other independent journalist, I don't know who he is, but they were talking about him suppressing free speech, and he was just not. His brain wouldn't comprehend or understand what they were saying. So that might be one of the reasons why he was not, like he was talking about something completely different.
Well, when you do that, it's because you don't believe. I mean, we've seen these types of people before for the past 5 or 6 years. It's when you don't believe that they should be able to speak, the whole no platforms for fascist things. So they think that they're so right that somebody who disagrees with them shouldn't be able to speak. And when you get there is that sad sack of a man. Galen Richardson, I'd like to point out again, touching his mask 8 times in less than 5 minutes.
Yeah.
You want to be such a tough guy and a cool guy standing in front of somebody chewing your gum, then you can't be wearing a mask outside and touching your face 8 times and being afraid to answer the small woman's question. And it's just a sad, pathetic thing. Oh yeah, I'm glad to be here right now. Oh, the weather. Let me fake check my phone 3 times and just like not even open it properly. Mask touch. Yeah, pretend I'm reading my sheet. I'm chewing my gum. Another fake phone check. Here we go. Not doing anything. He's scrolling once. He's clicking on one thing. Now he furrows his brow, pretending that he's doing something. I could comment on this all day, Mocha.
I think this is his most video in his life.
This is the most attention he's gotten. This is what he wanted.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the weather. Trey is being very polite. I don't even want to pronounce your name wrong. He's got his aviators with his 3 buttons undone. Feeling really cool. Let's see if we can get a mask touch in here soon again.
Why would you chew a gum if you're
Oh,
wearing
he
a
almost
mask?
did there. It's all about, they don't want to be, it's the same thing as those reporters you deal with, Mocha. They don't want to be kicked out of what they perceive as the cool club, which is actually the loser club. The polarities are so drastically switched. As Paul Joseph Watson says, conservatism is the counterculture. He doesn't want to be kicked out of the cool kids, because if somebody sees him not wearing a mask or talking to Rebel News, then he's going to be ostracized.
That's not the group of cool kids.
That's what I'm saying.
The
He
group
thinks
of
they are.
boring kids.
It's the group of losers is what it is. And it's gone way past the time where we have to pretend and be polite to the people who are just losers, who are maybe not on purpose but unknowingly ruining the country.
First of all, if you're a media company that requires payment from the government, which government takes that money from people by force,
you're a government
then
employee.
maybe you shouldn't exist as a news company if you can't get the money through donations, through asking people, or through advertisements,
or for subscribers or anything. When was the last time you opened your CBC Gem app?
Never. Like what is that? Who cares? And also, just imagine this. A couple bakeries go to the government and say, Prime Minister, this is an open letter to you. We're about to go out of business. Bakery is the essential function in our democracy. you have to give us $659 billion, and like, or we're gonna go bankrupt, and you know, hundreds of jobs are at risk. You know, people's bread is at risk. Don't play with people's bread. Don't steal people's bread.
They don't get that though.
Yeah, let's say that happened, and the government said, okay, there you go, gave us secret, you know, give millions of dollars to a secret list of bakeries, and but nobody buys from these bakeries. A real bakery, how does it survive? It survives because people go there. They say, can I get the bread? There you go. Here's the money. That's how it's supposed to be.
It's like a bakery getting funded by the government and not selling any baked goods. It's all rotten.
If you're not if you're not selling, if nobody's buying your products, then you know, like many people went bankrupt during this lockdown. I spoke to many people who lost their businesses. How about them? A bailout money for them? Well, of course not. You know.
And if you can't pay back the government loan, they
only
get
for banks and media companies, right? And big corporations.
If you don't pay back the government loan, they have the opportunity to buy your business from you, which of course is true communism. The last thing I think we should get to, Producer Efron, is social media man Yakov Pollock. He just moved to Florida. He had a funny mask interaction that we can get to as the last thing. Of course, follow us on Rumble, hit subscribe. Follow us on Odyssey and Super U, of course. Instagram, we're over 100,000 followers.
Did we not have any super chat today?
I don't know, Producer Efron, do we have any chats?
Okay, you have it on
Okay, we do have it. So while you're bringing up Yankee's tweet, because he'll love the attention, who wouldn't, when you get to be free in Florida.
The free state of Florida.
Free state of Florida, okay. We got some here. Love your interview with Max, Andrew. Love your work, Mocha. Thank you to you both. Rebel News Rock says, Aqua Skies 3636. Well, thank you, Aqua Skies. Are you familiar with the group Aqua from the early 2000s? History Club World, LL Cool J is now a star on NCIS. See, Mocha, it's not just me.
Okay.
If I have the right person in mind, you do. Unless you're thinking of Ice-T, which he's on. What's Ice-T on, Efron? Whatever, dude. I'm alone here. Australia was founded as a penal colony. Britain sent their prisoners there after America jumped ship. Follow History Club World on Instagram. See, we've got somebody hyper-chatting us history because they're History Club World.
I knew about that.
Inner Peace says, did you see the health minister in Australia wasting time and yelling at everyone for wasting his time? He wouldn't allow anyone, even the doctor that was with him, to talk. Then after about 10 minutes of yelling at people for wanting to ask the doctor questions, he ended the call.
I haven't seen that, but I'm going to check it out. That sounds interesting.
So thank you for those chats. Do we have the interaction with Yankee? So let's just leave on that and go to the sting afterwards. Say your goodbyes, Producer Mocha.
Thank you for watching, everyone. I'll see you later. Please watch my video today. It will be out today. And the Jagman Sting video will be out probably today or Wednesday.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Thanks for your chats. Please don't forget to subscribe and go to realreporters.ca because we're the only ones asking questions, even when they don't let us in. We're the only ones asking real questions and not, you know, getting paid $61 million, Mocha. So we'll see you guys tomorrow.
And if anyone knows the meaning of secession and chicanery, please let me know.
Shout out to Yankee, who went through this interaction now that he's free in Florida. Really weird. Take it easy, everybody.
I have one and I threw it in the garbage. I'm not wearing one. I moved from Canada to be free. That's it. I am not wearing one.
It does say facial coverings required.
So wear one.
You work here? What's it say on the side? Facial coverings required. You see people wearing that?
Yeah, we just haven't taken it. It's actually optional. We just haven't taken it down.
Yeah, well, it's still there.
If you want, wear one. I didn't bother you.
Be well. Live and be well.
I am living in well. I am free. I moved to Florida to be free. I'm not wearing a face covering.
Yeah.
All right, I'll take the key. I'll just do it.
Love face mask? You should move there.
Yeah, everyone is.
You know, you're free to move wherever you want. I have one and I threw it in the garbage.